What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me. Yes, me at your next show. I like to party with the people. Let me entertain you. All you not entertained, make your next thing a big one. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Mercy Shine. Who's Mercy Shine? What, have you been living under a rock? I don't know if that's an insult. Living under a rock. Have you been living under a rock? I guess I got to find the etymology of living under a rock. It's got to be insulting to somebody, because some of those sayings from way back were probably not PC. If anybody knows, let me know. Anyway, Mercy Shine in the next few minutes. Stick around. This week's shows, as we break out of coronavirus quarantine, I have my one Friday night gig. Yes, my faithful people at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Full bar, kitchens open, pool tables. In fact, they have a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try to make some money, try your hand at playing pool while you're waiting to sing on stage right next to me. Check out the Rab Friday night. Now, I did get some good news today. We were doing, due to this coronavirus thing, from 7:30 to 10:30 for the karaoke, because everybody had to be out the door by 11 p.m. Well, we're going back to almost normal. Now the karaoke is from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. Excited? Yeah, me too. So, the Rab will be open until 1 a.m., but everybody has to be on the other side of the door, out the door by 1 a.m. So, yes, some semblance of normalcy. We're still wearing masks when we walk around. We're still wearing masks on the way in and, when you're walking back and forth. But when you're sitting down having your drinky drinks and having your good food from the kitchen, you can take the mask down. Hey, we're taking care of each other. We don't fully know what this COVID-19 is, but we got vaccines that are coming. I know. I've seen them. I haven't gotten the vaccine, but I've seen it. I'm excited, okay? We'll get back to normal soon enough. Hey, if they did it back in the early 1900s or 1917 with the Spanish flu, I think we can do it in 2021 with the coronavirus. We can get back to normal, because I didn't know anything about that flu, just like most of you didn't know anything about that flu before this coronavirus came around, didn't you? Did you? All right, that's enough intro. Let's get into it with Mercy Shine. I did get Jason Clark and Matt Barfield of Mercy Shine. I got them on the Skype. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the video version. It's youtube.com/user/Keys Dan, or just look up Keys Dan on YouTube, and you'll find the YouTube page with the Radio What logo. I know, I have 3 YouTubes out there. One for karaoke, one for the DJ stuff, and one for the podcast stuff, the radio stuff. So look for Keys Dan with the Radio What logo, and you'll find me right next to Mercy Shine. All right, let's get into it with Mercy Shine. Skyping Mercy Shine now. Well, Mercy Shine. Keys Dan, the What Makes You Famous podcast. How is your day? I guess since it's always billed as Jason and Matt. I mean, I don't want to start fights. I always want to start fights. No, why is it always Jason and Matt?
Because Jason's the better one.
Oh, stop it. Now, perusing your YouTube videos, I'm catching Matt as man, you're stylish and maybe a little bit silly, but you had the Kangol on one of your videos. You got your beard is all is all prim and proper. Who would be the more metrosexual? I'm going to ask Jason. Who's the more metrosexual? The person that's likely to use grooming products.
I'm not going to lie, dude. That would be me.
Okay. So judging by videos, booked by their covers, first glance. Yeah. Okay. So all right, man. Mercy Shine. I got you on. I'm happy that Jana set this up for me, and I appreciate that so much. You got at least 2 hits out there, 2 recorded songs. The one, Curves. Man, I'm watching that video. It's a little risque for a country song. Whose idea was that?
That will be both of ours.
Okay, all right, yeah, because all right. As you talk, the person that talks is going to come up in that video screen. So, Jason, you say that's both of yours. I want to know the concept of the Curves video because it's a good song, but it's a really good video. I'm a video DJ, so I do remember when MTV used to play music videos. So the music video and the way that the group looks in the song and how they present themselves, it means a lot to me. So Jason, you said you both came up with that concept. Well, how did it come about, and when did that song come out?
That song was back in August. We recorded in August 2019. We recorded an EP with Chemo Force from Cash Creek, and he also plays with Alabama. In July is when we released the single Curves. The video actually came from, we set up to record one night when we were doing a Cash Creek club. That's actually Cash Creek backing us that night that we played. That's them in the video.
All right. Well, I guess I have Cash Creek coming on in the next couple of days, so I'll find out more about them. But I want to know about you. Where do you find yourself, Matt? Where are you located at?
Currently, right now, sir, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Are you both in Nashville, Tennessee?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. So is Nashville, Tennessee the place you ought to be if you're recording country music? I mean, this is the rumor that I'm hearing. You got pictures of people on your wall behind you. Tell me about Nashville, Tennessee, Matt, and tell me about the pictures behind you and what they mean to you.
Well, the pictures behind me is of my rock band Kiss. That's my favorite band of all time. This was actually a birthday, Christmas present from our drummer Gary Osbrooks, who gave me that. And Nashville, as far as Nashville goes, it's a great little town, man. I mean, it's full of just unbelievable talent in Nashville. And man, I tell you what, I'm proud of the people that we've met so far along the way, and man, just the great friendships that we've been able to forge with some of these people, and the talent goes without even saying.
Man, I got my card for the KISS Army back in 1984. I was a member of the KISS Army. I graduated in 1986, but I was a card-carrying member of the KISS Army. KISS, what a great band, and even greater marketers, man. If they were growing up, if they were coming up now, instead of back then, they would have been all over social media. As it is, I see Gene Simmons. He's a good follow on all the social medias. He's still at it. But, as far as marketing, man, to come up with an army, have you ever thought of a Mercy Shine army? What do you call the people that follow Mercy Shine?
Family.
Well, we can't make a living just on our own family, like the blood relatives. We involve them at first. Those are the people that we get into our music videos. Those are the people that I try out my stand-up comedy routine on. Of course, they're gonna go, yeah, you're not gonna say that on stage, are you? No, don't do it. And of course, I will go ahead and say it on stage, and it will get a good response. And more out of if the family does not like it, go ahead, try it. Especially if it's your wife. Either of you two married?
I am, yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing to be married, man. But they're the ones that are going to bring you right back to earth. I'll tell you. I DJ every weekend, Friday, Saturday nights. I'm in front of a crowd. I know the feeling of a crowd. But then you get home, honey, take out the garbage. They bring you right back down to earth.
You're right.
I kid. Jason Clark, man, you're the guitarist. You're the guy that I see playing and singing. And then Matt, you more concentrate on the singing. Is that a dynamic? Have you played as a duo rather than having a backup band? Do you go to clubs and perform as the two of you without the drummers and the other people in the back?
No, not recently, just because of the whole pandemic thing, and that's really put a brick wall in front of us. But hopefully this year it's going to be a lot different. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm talking about before, man. BC, before COVID. Because this has really put a monkey in the wrench. There were months that I didn't have a gig, and I'm sure that things were tough all over. So people found different ways of exploring their creative juices, letting their creative juices flow. And thankfully, I had this podcast already going, and I've done podcast after podcast talking to people, and it's purely selfish. The benefit is that my listeners get to know a little bit about the people behind the music. Yeah, you can go to mercyshine.com if I'm not mistaken, and mercyshine.com and find out, and listen to the music on your YouTube pages and your various social medias. But it's good to know the people behind the music. Jason, in Raleigh, North Carolina, how is it? Did you grow up there? Were you born and raised in Raleigh?
No, actually, me and Mac grew up probably about 5 or 10 minutes from each other, and I grew up in a town called Alville, Virginia, and he grew up in a town called Dendron, Virginia. Two little small towns. If you blink your eyes, you'll miss it.
It's amazing what comes out of small towns, man. Tupelo, Mississippi is this big, but I had to go back to Tupelo, Mississippi to go visit the 2-room shotgun shack that bore the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. And Tupelo, if you blink, you're going to miss it, man. So little towns, you'd be surprised at how many acts come out of little towns. And were you born and raised there as well, Matt?
No, but I grew up there just about my whole life. So
where were you born?
It's always been home to me.
Where were you born?
I was actually born in Hopewell, Virginia.
Okay, so Virginia boys, man, that became the capital. That became the heart of America, really. And I know that if you listen to, if you watch the Alexander Hamilton and you take some of the history out of that play, you'll know the reason that Washington, D.C., the capital of the nation, got moved there was to appease the Southerners. What's your is that the history that you've heard growing up in that area?
No, sir. I can't say that I
have. I'm springing history lessons on you, man. I'm just chit chatting, man. Is there any? It's getting late at night, man, and I'm just trying to get a feel of who you guys are. I already know who's wearing more products, but who's got more musicianship? Who started earlier as a singer or a songwriter, and where did that all begin?
Well, mine started right around the age of 13 is when I picked up my first guitar. And from there, it just springboarded because I grew up in the video era. So I wanted to play like Eddie Van Halen and George Lynch and Warren DeMartini and all these guys, but I never made it quite that far. So,
Hey, man, if you can play 3 chords, that's Ted Nugent, man. Two-finger Ted. That man made millions knowing 2 or 3 chords, and it's notoriously. I think I have 5 guitars. I can play 2 or 3 chords and maybe a few scales. Nothing that I could ever take on stage. I've never been brave enough to take a musical instrument up on stage. The best I can offer to the world is playing other people's music, and I have been fortunate to have been playing Mercy Shine. I got your videos, and I played them over at the Rab in Conway, and I love it when I break out new artists, newish artists, and people go, "Who is that, man? That sounds real good." and I'll say Mercy Shine, and hopefully that brings somebody, a brand new listener to your to your area, becomes more. Well, I guess a Mercy Shine family member, if that's what you call them, family. But Jason, I didn't see. I didn't see a video, Matt, that you had been playing guitar. I thought Jason was the guitar player. But do you both play guitars, Jason? When did you start playing?
I picked up bass. I played bass. I started playing when I was about 15 or 16. That's actually how Matt and myself met. We started out in a rock band together. I was playing bass. He was the lead vocalist. And we had two of our friends playing, a drummer and a guitar player.
Man, it's amazing how things come about. What kind of rock music were you playing, and what year was this when you first formed that band?
It was, I guess at that time it would have been considered grunge, and the year was 1991.
That would have been about right. See, I'm class of 86. I'm 52. Well, I just turned 52 last Sunday. So, yeah, 52 years old. And I love the era. That in 91, I guess I was still a baby DJ. I started DJing back in 86. But I understand the music. And were you wearing the plaid? Were you feeling the great Northwest, even though you were Southern boys?
Yep.
Yeah.
With the guy liner.
Yeah, well, I mean, still my go-to karaoke songs are like anything by Pearl Jam, because anything by STP, anything by Creed, and I noticed that you're both singers. You harmonize. Will you both be considered the leads, or is one a lead and one's backing up? Are you have you always been a harmonizer? Harmonizers?
We in Mercy Shine, we kind of share, go back and forth, and then do harmonies together. When we were doing rock music, Matt was a lead vocalist, and I did harmonies.
I like that, man. I like that. It's building a picture of who you are now from where you were then. What years did you graduate, Jason? What year did you graduate high school?
Oh boy, you're asking me to think now.
All right. While Jason's thinking, Matt, what year did you graduate high school?
1992.
92. Okay. You youngins, you whippersnappers, as far as I'm concerned. But you've been doing music. Were you both band geeks in school?
I was.
I definitely was. What music? Okay, you picked up guitar in at 13, but did you play any other instruments with the band that one time in band camp?
No, sir. No.
Always guitar, acoustic guitar. I'm guessing that was the first one you picked up, or did you pick up electric?
It was actually electric guitar.
What'd you get?
It was a POS that somebody had left at the house, and they never came back for it. So I just took it back to my bedroom and started messing around on it.
I have a purple Squire Strat. I mean, there's a, it's the lesser brand, and then I think I have an SG Ibanez SG. No, not an SG. It's like a 120. I don't even know if that's a thing. But it's you go to Guitar Center and that they got these boxes for about $150. You get a guitar, some strings, maybe a little amp, all put in a box, and that's where people start. But you can make those things really shine, like Mercy Shine. But how long did you play that guitar? Did you ever take it on stage?
No, sir. No. That guitar never saw the light of day as far as the stage goes.
Okay, you say a friend left it over there. All right. Where was your first guitar? Where'd that come from, Jason?
My first bass was Ibanez. It was a 4-string Ibanez.
I kind of like the Ibanez sound. I have double humbuckers on that thing, and like I said, I can only play 2 or 3 chords, but I like the way it sounds. The Squire, which is Fender's lesser brand. It looks like a Stratocaster, but it's a Squire Strat, and it sounded tinny. It sounds real high pitched. It's got 3 single coil. I mean, I don't know much about guitars and such, but why did you pick up the bass, Jason, as opposed to a guitar? What made you want to pick up the bass?
We actually needed a bass player at the time, so I was playing guitar a little bit. I really wasn't that good at it, so then I switched over to bass and started playing. And the reason I picked the Ibanez is because it was so light. The rest of them were really heavy.
Do you feel like you're a better bass player than you ever were a guitar player?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really never continued with guitar after that.
Man, the rhythm section really does make the band. When I'm looking at different bands and I see the bassist. If there's a really good bassist, they rock out, and the really good ones have what I call bass face, where they'll stick their tongues out, bug their eyes out. If they're really getting into the groove, man, they're sweating, and the best bass players. Have you ever gotten so into playing that you've come up and just you feel yourself, your maybe your soul's leaving your body and you're kind of having an out of body experience?
Yeah, a couple times when we played, we had, when we were doing rock music, we had the opportunity. We opened for Kiss. Matt was talking about Kiss earlier. We shared the stage with Kiss, Godsmack, Deep Purple, Fuel, Saliva, the Bullet Boys. That's just who I shared the stage with.
Okay, name dropping aside, how cool was that? Especially Matt playing. How did that come about?
That was something Jason was able to work out and get us on that bill. It was back in 2007, all the way over there in Cadott, Wisconsin, the Rock Fest over there, and that was a pretty huge experience for us.
Well, for the kids that are trying to get into something like that, they're trying to get into a festivals or what do you suggest, Jason, to get the kid, somebody who thinks they have what it takes to open up for a hero or heroes like Godsmack and Kiss, amongst others?
Have a lot of patience and get used to a lot of no's before you hit yes.
Well, you guys started in 1991 playing together, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what it was?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it took you all the way to 2007 to play that big show. Was that like a festival that was all day or several days?
Yes, sir. It was a 4-day. It was a 4-day event.
A 4-day event, and back in 2007, man, it seems so long ago, but really, it's not that long ago. But okay, from 91 until 2007, what kind of shows were you playing? Did you start out? I mean, how'd you start out?
We started out playing like cookouts and private birthday parties and backyard birthday parties, and then we graduated up to playing 300 and 500 seaters clubs. And then after a few years, that's when we started getting the opportunity to headline and to open up the national acts.
Is this all in the Virginia area that you were playing primarily, or were you touring a little bit?
We played outside the Virginia area.
That's pretty cool, man. Hey, that's another thing for the kids. Don't expect to be up on the big stage at first. Go play that backyard party. Go get your chops. Yep. The only way to do it, the only way to get that practice is to actually go out and do it. Now, before you felt that you were good enough to get on the barbecue circuit, how long were you playing together?
Oh, good Lord. I would say roughly around about 4, well, probably not even that long, really. Probably around about
a couple years.
Year and a half, 2 years.
So it took you a couple years to practice to feel good enough to get up on stage, or were you playing on stage all the way through?
It took us that long to get that confidence level built up.
And what was the practice space? Did you have somebody have a garage or?
Yes, sir. Yeah, a barn. Yeah.
You had somebody had a barn, a good practice space. How many guys were in the band?
It was 4.
4 people. So to get 4 people to show up for practice and really not have the benefit of a monetary monetary benefit, that tells that tells a lot about the love of the music. That it takes you 2 years of practice with no return besides the love of the music on that investment. That means a lot, man. So the other two guys in the band, I'm guessing a drummer and maybe a keyboardist, maybe what do you
guitar player? Yeah,
a drummer and a guitar player. You can give them shout outs. I mean, shoot, give credit where credit is due. I always like when people tell of the people that helped them out along the way.
Well, our drummer at that time, his name was Chris Price, but we called him Boone. And then our guitar player's name was Sean Wade, which he's currently got a project together called Blackwater Divide, and it's kind of swampy country music, and it sounds great, man. I mean,
I like that. Something that you say swampy. I start to feel like maybe it's got some blues riffs in there. Kind of feels like the Delta, maybe Mississippi, or maybe New Orleans, somewhere in there. And it's got I'm almost hearing the music without even hearing one chord, man. And just by swampy country. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
He's let me hear a little bit of it so far, and I got to tell you, man, I'm proud of the guy because he's gone way out of his comfort zone and did something extremely different than what he's used to. So, kudos to him, man, and he did a great job doing it. So,
well, I can see that people, you never know where your journey is going to end, and or from the beginnings where you're playing covers of grunge music and maybe some Kiss music. Did you throw a couple Kiss songs in there?
Oh, absolutely.
And you're playing in front of hundreds of people, man. That's a lot, to have,
yes, sir,
to entertain, 100, 200, 300, weddings can be up in that 500 range, depending on how big they are. And to keep all those people involved and happy with you. I mean, there's always that one drunk uncle that says, play Freebird. I want to hear it. And I'm not leaving. I'm sitting here unless you don't play. How many times do you deal with that? Can I help you with your equipment? No, drunk uncle. You stay over there. We got our equipment. But no, man. So what made you take that switch from rock and then move it over to country? When did you decide that Mercy Shine was the way to go? And was it always named Mercy Shine?
Well, the name Mercy Shine came from a band that a friend of mine and I were in. It was a side project. He came up with the name, and then when we needed a name, I called him and asked him if we could use it. And he said he was fine with that. He had no issues. So we used it under the rock banner there for a year or so, and then that kind of just diminished. And fast forward to 2017, the gentleman that we were working with at the time, the producer, said that he actually liked that name and that we should keep it. So we just decided to keep it.
Man, Mercy Shine, it gives me, it definitely sounds like a country band rather than, or it could be a Christian band. Are there Christian connotations to it, or is that purely coincidental?
It would probably purely coincidental, to be honest with you.
Okay. So, all right. So, when did you start? Who's writing the music, and when did that start?
We actually used outside songwriters for our first EP, and the majority of it on this EP. I did write a song for the new EP that we got out with the help of Corey Lee Barker and Norm McDonald.
See, I'm glad that you're giving credit where credit is due. Once again, shout outs to the people that help you along the way. When did that first EP come out, and how many songs were on that? I haven't had the pleasure of listening to that. The only thing that I've really come across was the couple of songs. You got the That's Where You'll Find Me and the Curves song that are available on your YouTube page. But Jason, when did that first EP come about, and who were the songwriters on that, if you can remember some of them?
The first EP was self-titled. That came out in August of 2019. And a few of the songwriters were Joel Shoemate, Jason Matthews, and country artist William Michael Morgan. They're just some of them that were on there.
So, Jason, what made you make the switch? I mean, because you've been playing rock all the way up to 2017, if I'm catching this right. What made you switch over to more of a country feel?
Me personally, I've always liked country music and always been into country music and rock, blues and bluegrass. I've just been into different styles of music. So I actually called Matt up one day once the rock group split and asked him if he'd be interested in recording a couple country songs and doing a duo.
So are you primarily billed as a duo and not, do you have a band that you usually work with, or do you pick up people along the way if you're touring around, Matthew?
We are billed as a duo, but we do have a band behind us, pretty steady band. And I couldn't ask for a greater bunch of guys to work with, man, you know. And I'm happy right now with the way things are going. So we'll just see what happens down the road.
So are you planning, since 2017 and you made the switch, am I saying that, am I getting the timeline right? That's when you made the switch to country?
About 2018.
18. You switched over to country. Are you touring around, or were you touring around with Matthew in Nashville and Jason in North Carolina? Are you touring back and forth between those two states, or have you, and I guess you did that one show in Wisconsin. Have you been touring around the country?
Well, pre-COVID, we've done a couple of shows since we switched over. COVID, we have only played a handful of shows here and there because touring has been shut down and venues have been shut down. And or not, they can only have like a couple people in the building, or they can either not have entertainment but have run the restaurant. It just depends on each state and each area. So we have not been touring, but we have played a handful of places since then.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty happy to be here in Arkansas right now. My club that I usually do on Friday nights, it was only open until 11 p.m. because everybody knows that COVID only comes out after 11 p.m. I don't know if that's scientific or political, but I guess the science must have changed because now the club can stay open till 1 in the morning as of this Friday. So I'm kind of stoked about that. We get to have more of a normal type of show. Of course, we're all wearing masks and we're all sanitizing like crazy. But hey, at least the people get to get out of their house and have some semblance of normalcy. Now, a lot of the bands have been going out and performing streaming shows. Matthew, have you got into the online streaming shows?
No, sir, not. No. I would much rather, have a room full of people, make it a little bit more personal. I mean, just not into that virtual stuff. I'm sorry.
No, I get it, man. We're older dudes. I mean, I'm just now trying to get into, figure out social media. Thankfully, I grew up as it started, and I've started to figure it out. I got the big four: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the big four. And I see, judging by your website, those are the big four for you as well. Right there, you have links to your Facebook, Twitter, your YouTube, and your Instagram. Now, your YouTube goes to Mercy Shine Topic, but I put your name, Mercy Shine Band, in the YouTube search bar, and I found your actual YouTube. So whoever's doing your website, have them switch that so it'll go straight to your YouTube rather than your topic. Get some more hits for you. Who built your website anyway?
We had a girl out of Raleigh to put it together.
That is cool as can be, man. And it says it all. It says what you what you need. It tells a little story about you and how to contact you as well, right there at mercyshine.com. But, hey, as we're breaking out of this COVID-19 thing, what's on the horizon for Mercy Shine, or what do you want the people to know about you? Let's go with Matthew on this one.
Well, we got some shows lined up this year coming up. We got a show out in April in Alabama, Concert for America, which is for the military and first responders, and we're really excited to be a part of that, and can't wait to do that. And then we've got people working for us who are currently booking more shows at this moment, so can't wait to get out there and get it going.
Yeah, what's Miss Jana doing for you, Jason?
She does some booking and some radio for us.
She's a cool chick, man. I've come into contact with her, and she's been throwing a lot of really interesting people, such as yourselves, at me. And I'm kind of excited, man, to know her. And it seems like she's helping to get the word out about, I say new bands. You guys aren't new, man. You've been doing it since '91. You are well seasoned as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you've been in different genres here and there, but you are seasoned musicians, seasoned entertainers. Matthew, do you play guitar and sing at the same time while you're on stage?
I try to. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
They tell me I sound better playing guitar than I do singing. So,
ouch, very ouch. No, I've had the pleasure of looking at, like I said, those two videos and those two songs, and it seems like you harmonize just as good as the best of us, as anybody, really. Jason and Matthew. Jason, have you both of you been harmonizing with any other people, or how long did it take for you to get that groove to where you sing good together? You're both the front men, as far as I'm concerned. You're both the lead singers. How does that work out?
It works out fine. Me and Matt, when we pick songs or go through songs, Matt's got strength in doing certain songs, and I got strength doing certain songs. That's how we determine who's going to do the main parts of it, and then who's going to do the harmonies. So, me and Matt get along really well. It comes from having a good relationship, a personal relationship as well as, a music relationship.
Yeah, that's a thing about bands, man, is they do become a family of sorts. But just like any other family, as you've already alluded to, the rock band broke up. But just because you broke up doesn't mean you don't like to keep up with those people. You've already alluded to that you're happy that some of the band members have other projects, and you've already given shout outs to those other projects. But getting 4 or 5 people together and having them everybody meet in one place. Hey, you all have to be here at this night. I imagine at this age there might be babysitters involved. There might be wives that might have objections, and girlfriends for that matter. What do your families think about you taking this show on the road? And I guess the other question would be, do you have day jobs, a nice steady gig that at least gives you insurance?
Yeah, I have a day job, and as far as taking the show out on the road, man, my family's pretty proud, man, of everything that Jason and I have accomplished. So, as long as I got them behind me, supporting me, man, we're just going to see how far we can go with it.
It's cool as can be, man. I have a day job as well that affords me the insurance, and thankfully they let me out early enough to where I can go to the club at night. I'm guessing both of you, hopefully you have schedules that afford you that opportunity. Day jobs for the most part, they don't pay that much, and you can make a lot of money in the entertainment business, but the work's not steady. So I wonder about that, especially as people get older. Families and starving musician is a thing that has been on. So, Jason, what's your family life like? Girlfriend, or you're a man on the go?
I do have a steady job as well. Like Matt, I work Monday through Friday. But I get off in time enough to where I'm able to do stuff, and my family is really supportive of what Matt and myself are doing.
That is excellent news. Now, you both being in different states, how often do you get together? Jason, do you travel? I mean, it would make more sense, I think, to me if you travel to Nashville, or Matthew, do you travel to North Carolina from time to time? Where does the practice come in?
That makes more sense. All the guys are from the Nashville area, so I travel from Raleigh to Nashville.
So why are you still in Raleigh? Is it the day job is just too good?
I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, this is where my family and my kid is, so that's why I stay around here.
See, we give up a lot for our families, man. A touring musician can and has often given up their family life, given up their personal life for the love of the music, man. But we got to find that balance. So, Matt, you said you were writing some songs. Jason, do you write songs as well?
Yes, I can.
Can or have?
In the past, I have, not recently.
Anything that you put to recording?
Some co-writes back in the day when we were doing rock.
That's excellent, man. I mean, how does it feel when you put a song out to the world and it gets some kind of response? And have you played them those particular songs in front of people?
Yes, they were part of our set when we would go out and play.
Now, was the rock band? I'm guessing was mostly covers, Matthew.
It's about 75-25.
How does
75 originals and 25 covers?
Oh, okay, all right. I was going the other way because a lot of musicians think, oh, do I have to have all originals or can it be a cover band? Well, there's a lot of party bands that are that just do covers, and they make a pretty decent living doing weddings and bar mitzvahs and backyard barbecues. But you guys are 75%. Man, how does that feel when a song of your own creation gets a response? And do you have, how's the income coming in for the songs? I mean, for the music playing, do you have a merch table? Do you sell CDs after the show? How are people able to make money these days without the ability to sell records at a record store these days?
It's mostly from shows, as far like selling T-shirts or banners or bumper stickers, koozies, CDs, hats. That's most of where your money comes from, other than getting paid to play.
Well, how are people able to get some of that good Mercy Shine swag? Where can they go to get that?
Right now, we're currently working with someone on getting up a store on the mercyshine.com site. So they'll be able to click on the link to the store and purchase merchandise. And or if they come see our live show, we'll have merchandise as well.
That is cool as can be. Now, yeah, I know there's a lot of these drop shippers. I guess these websites that are made up. I know I have a cafe press out there where you don't even have to touch the items. People can go to those shops and support you by buying some of those items, and maybe you make a buck or two off the top. And I know that there's a lot of places like that. Rather than you having to have a press in your back room or in your garage and pressing out those Mercy Shine shirts and pins and hats for yourself. But Matthew Barfield, I mean, how do you want people to get a hold of you, and what's on the horizon for are you made that first album, you have a new album now. How's the response on the new album?
So far, the response has been overwhelming, and man, I've been really pleased with it. We just finally got our physical CDs pressed and delivered, so now we can get them into the hands of the people that want them.
Now, do you have management, or are you signed, or are you an independent artist?
We are currently with CCB Nashville out of Tennessee. We do have management as well, and we have a few booking agents as well. And like Matt said, we do have the new EP that was just released in December. This past Monday, February the 1st, would be yesterday, we just released our new radio single off of that EP titled Mercy Shine 2. The name of the song is Why Can't It Be Tonight?
I saw that.
It was written by Jason Matthews, Lance Miller, Timothy James, and it was produced by Chemo Forrest, and Jennifer Blair and Jana Johnson are the ones that are working at it radio right now.
How cool is that? Well, hopefully I'll get a little copy for my radiowhat.com and put it out on Twitter as well every time it plays. So that's man, it's good that you keep putting the stuff out. I haven't written one song. How does it feel to have quite a few songs in your back pocket that you can play for the people? Man, that's got to feel good, and to have people listen to it and dance to it. I mean, just watching that video for That's Where You'll Find Me, and even the one for Curves, I can see at least the That's Where You Find Me. That was like, how was that video produced? Was that like something that you did live and you had people come out?
It was done live. I think the guy's name was Chad Rose that did the video. But we did that in Nashville. We rented out a venue because the venue was closed for COVID. So we rented the venue out, and we had a production crew come in and a few people that work with us, and the band that backs us come in, and that's how we shot the video.
Well, I'm sure that venue was very happy to have you, especially since they've been closed. I mean, the musicians, the artists themselves have been hurting, but the venues, they're hurting as well. Man, you must have said, hey, can we do this video? Yes, please, come. Yeah. Come on in. That's cool. And to make a music video, how many hours does it take to make a video just like that one?
Man, I think it took excuse me. I think it took like 3 or 4 hours to do the live shots, and that was in between, shooting at different angles and doing retakes at different angles and everything like that. So that probably took about 3 or 4 hours to do the live stuff. And I couldn't tell you how much time was put into the editing with all the other extra stuff that went in there.
Well, let me tell you, it's nowadays. I've been involved with video shoots in the past where you'll record the song. Okay, say one scene is going to be up on stage like you were, and then another scene is out in the forest. They're just kind of walking through, lip sync into the video, and then the other scene they're at a swimming pool. And you kind of put all those scenes together where you cut. Nowadays with computers, you could put the 3 different songs on 3 different levels in your music, in your software, your video software, and just cut paste, and it comes out so much quicker that way. I wish I had now or then what I have now, the editing wise. Man, it's nice. It's nice chatting with you, man. It really is.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible what they can do.
So, Jason, since you're so far away, have you been able to collaborate at all over this last year, or have you been traveling at all over the last year over to Nashville?
Yeah, I've traveled back and forth to Nashville.
How often does that happen?
Rehearsals or recording and different things that we do.
Well, you got this new album out, man. That's exciting as can be. You got the first album. You got 2 albums out now that the people can listen to. There's a handful of them, the recordings out there on your YouTube page. Where can people find the rest of those albums?
iTunes, Spotify,
Amazon.
Is it looking up Mercy Shine Band? Because I guess
Yeah, just Mercy Shine. I don't. In the Google search, it usually just comes up if you type in Mercy Shine.
Fantastic. I know I got the main links from your webpage, and I'll put them in the show notes for sure. But as we land this plane, man, any other shout outs you want to give for the people? Let's go with Matthew Barfield. You want to give some shout outs to people that have helped you along the way?
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm going to take it back a little bit too. I sure want to give a shout out to both Todd Washburn and Paul Cobb, who were both producers in our earlier ventures. And, Chemo Forest, the guys from Cash Street, my partner Jason, Gary Osbrooks, and the most important one of all, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I appreciate that. Jason Clark, you want to give some shout outs to the people as we land this plane?
I think Matt covered a lot of it, but I'd just like to thank all the songwriters that helped us out with this project and the last project. Jennifer Blair Promotions, Jana Johnson. I'd like to thank Larry Hurley. I'd like to thank our band members, booking agents, venues. I'd like to thank people at radio, people like yourself that take the time and help out up and coming artists.
Fantastic, Jason Clark. I appreciate that so much, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's purely selfish. I not only get the opportunity to listen to the music, I get to hear the stories of the people behind the music. Where you've been playing since you were teenagers. You picked up the bass, Jason, and you picked up the guitar, Matthew, and history starts getting formed. The teachers over the years that you've been involved with. And can both of you read music, or are you playing by ear?
I just play by ear.
Wow.
Same thing.
Wow. Tabs, or do you look up stuff on YouTube, or you get books of tabs, or how do you just play by ear, hear a song and you could play it?
Sometimes I can, and then there's other times I do have to look up to make sure I got the parts right that I'm supposed to be playing.
That impresses me to no end. Not only are you good musicians, you have good ears that you can come up with this stuff. I have a cousin, Timmy, that he can hear a song on the radio once, pick up his SG guitar, exactly the same as it was on the radio first time he ever heard that song. It just impresses me. Reading music, hey, that impresses me too. My 15-year-old daughter, thankfully, she's getting classically trained on piano, and she's learning how to read music. I'm impressed with her to no end. But somebody who takes the show on the road, that takes a bet on themselves, and puts a song out, and then gets in front of people and goes, I played this for you. What do you think? Here's my child. What do you think? Man, that's got to be a good feeling. I'm just feeling it from here. From miles away. I'm feeling the love that you have for the music that you play. Right.
That's what it's all about.
I'm getting all teary-eyed here, but I usually finish these things off with last words for the people. These could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago. Maybe Grandpa told you this thing, and you wake up with it every morning, a mantra, or it could just be whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Now, Mercy Shine, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. As things progress, I want to connect with you again, maybe 6 months, maybe a year down the line. If there's new shows coming up that you want to promote, please, by all means. But Matthew Barfield, I'm going to give you the first last for the words for the people. And then Jason, I'm going to give you the last words for the people. So Matthew Barfield, last words for the people.
Hey, man, to get the most out of life, you got to throw yourself into it. So go get it while you can.
Jason Clark, last words for the people.
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that supports us, that has supported us, and all the fans. to help us accomplish and do what we like to do.
Amen.
Well, there you have it, party people. Mercy Shine, Jason Clark, and Matt Barfield. They're a couple of good fellas, and they're making that good music. Now, I did have a little bit of technical difficulty. I think the internet went out for a little bit, but I think I cut it. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. Well, go back and listen again. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. I'm getting pretty good at this editing. I don't think you would have noticed. You may not have noticed unless you're really paying attention. All right. Thank you so much, Jason Clark and Matt Barfield of Mercy Shine, for coming on the program. I look forward to chatting with you again, man, and finding out more. That's some good music, man. And the two songs that are on your YouTube page, they're fun. The videos. I'm a video guy. I grew up in the MTV era, you know, so videos are pretty important. Remember when MTV used to play music videos? And kids, MTV used to play music videos. It used to be music television before it became reality TV. Is MTV still a thing? I don't have regular cable. I stream. I'm like you. I'm one of the kids. I stream. I got my Netflix. All right. Thanks again, Mercy Shine, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. And now let me turn my attention to you. Yes, you. If you would like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.